In this pick a card reading, you're going to be learning what and who you need to forgive so that you can make space in your heart to move forward. So you can allow tender energies, tenderness flow into your heart. There's really just this energy of spirit wanting you to let go of the past, spirit wanting you to let go of where you've been wronged, spirit wanting you to let go of things and relationships and situations that didn't play out as you would have desired for them to. Spirit just wants you to let go, release all those baggages and free up your mind, free up your heart, free up your life, free up your joy, free up yourself from being rooted. Because the thing is, when you're still holding on to that pain, to the angst, you're keeping yourself rooted into that time, that period in time when the grievance occurred, that period in time when you were wrong, that period in time when the hurt occurred. Okay, so in this reading, this pick a card reading, there are going to be 3 options, and you get to choose the deck that calls to you the most. Don't worry, you can't make a wrong choice, you can't make a wrong decision. The message you are meant to hear, you are destined to hear, has already been programmed. I'm just here channeling it. The deck you're going to choose has already been planned, so just go with the flow. Okay, don't stress it. No stressing. If you chose this deck, first thing spirit is dropping is there's something about you. Maybe you're a lawyer, or you deal with legal transactions, or you deal with legalities. You're someone who likes law. Some of you might also watch a lot of law movies, law flicks, read a lot about law. You're just very, even if you're not a practicing lawyer or a judge or an attorney or advocate or things like that, or even if you're not immersed, some of you, maybe you're like you're legal, paralegal secretaries, but you're just immersed in the law industry. You're immersed in the law industry. And if you are with this collective, you also have Libra energy significant in your chart. Okay, so those are the 2 details spirit is dropping to me for who this collective is. Okay, so if you chose this deck, there's a very high probability that you work in the law industry, either as a lawyer, attorney, judge, advocate, paralegal, secretary, or you're a law student, or you love law, movies, law books, reading about law, just being concerned about law. And then the other part is Libra energy significant in your chart. All right, so there's something about an outcome which you've refused to release that's coming through. There's an outcome which you refuse to release because you keep on allowing yourself to be pulled back. So what I'm saying is you just spiraling, continuing to spiral. It's like you're trying to spiral up, but then you remember this incident, and then it pulls you back down to the moment when the betrayal happened, to the moment when the person wronged you, to the moment when you kind of like were kicking for a fool, and that has hurt you so deeply. Like it has made you be like, okay, I'm never going to trust anybody again. I'm never going to give anybody my trust. I'm never going to, and you don't even realize how much has spiraled out from this single occurrence in time, how much has come to happen, how much your behavior has kind of like been tweaked to conform with your expectations based on this situation that happened. Okay, so let's get some more details. What was this? Thank you. So this situation, this betrayal happened with someone who it's really like the cards were just waiting to fly out. This betrayal happened with someone who you consider to be a mentor, someone who you had shared your problems with, someone you thought could give you advice, who could help you, someone you've also spent a lot of time, someone you had spent a lot of time with, someone you had walked with, literally eaten with, spent time with. This is someone you've actually spent a considerable amount of time with, listening to them, learning from them, sharing your feedback, receiving their advice, asking them questions. And it was like at the moment when it mattered the most, when you thought that this person was going to come true for you in the way you expected them to, they kind of let you down in a way that was very grievous, in a way that was very heart-rending, very heart-aching. I might have felt like your heart was, and this made you to develop mistrust in people. This made you develop mistrust in asking for advice, asking for support, asking for help, because you always just then started feeling like whatever help is rendered to you is going to come with 2 prongs. The person wants to take something from you. The person is not going to be willing to All this makes me want to cry. The person might be really, the person is really, the person, you feel like if you ask for support, if you ask for care, if you ask for guidance, you're going to be taken advantage of. This mentor in your past, this person that was a teacher, this person that should have been a responsible person, that should have been a supporting guide, that should have basically helped you to navigate through at the moment when you needed them, they let you down. And it was almost like they were asking for tit for tat, like, oh, and you felt like you were showing up already. You felt like you being there, you being their mentee was enough. That was the part, that was your role in the relationship. But then you realize that the person actually wanted more and more and more, and demanded more from you, and it was almost like at the end, or you realize that they were holding out a carrot and a stick. Like they kept on telling you, like, okay, you take this, but the hand kept on moving, it kept on moving, the goalpost kept on shifting, and at the end you realize, okay, you needed to let the situation go, you needed to let this relationship end, you needed to walk away from this mentor. For some of you, the destruction that happened was you walking away from them also made you walk away out of a life you believed. For some of you, this was a lot of chaos, which resulted in you changing your background, changing your home, changing your work, changing your car. There's a lot of chaotic, a lot of endings and losses that came up with this walking away from this relationship. That's somehow imprinted in your mind. So you've kind of linked it that if you ask for advice, the person wants to take something from you back, and then it's always going to lead into losses and endings and losses and endings for you, and you always have to, you'll be at the short end of the receiving, at the shorter end of the receiving line. Okay. But spirit is something that is coming through. You guys, you really had a relationship. For some of you, this energy I'm picking up is a mentor. Someone was older, someone was a teacher, someone was a guide, someone was who was a leader, who you looked up to. This was someone you looked up to. Someone maybe like you placed on a pedestal unconsciously, thinking that, okay, this person should possibly not do me wrong. This person should possibly not have no bad intentions for me. But then they showed up and they showed out, and you were like, what the? Okay, and that has made you really, really not trust people. That has made you close up your heart from trusting people. All right. Now, for some of you, this relationship was a workplace relationship. This was someone like you met at work and you were engaged with them at work. So maybe someone like a guide, a counselor, just in your workplace. But this was really, really related to your work, and it just made you feel like you could not trust. You could not ask for support. You could not ask for help. You just couldn't ask for things. You just couldn't ask to be supported. You just couldn't ask to be guided, because every time you try it, you feel like every time you try it, your mind replays what went on with the incident that went on with this mentor figure, and then it just makes you like, okay, just hold back, because your mind also replays it. Your mind kind of like preps, like, oh, this is what's going to happen, and then because you keep on thinking like, okay, this is what's going to happen, you bring those situations back into your reality. So it's like you are continuing in this closed loop of experiences. Now, you guys, you cried a lot at the end of this. You've got the tear, you've got the shaman, you've got the one, and you've got gnosis. All right, so now what I'm being told to tell you is the fact that this relationship happened the way it was exactly supposed to happen. Like, this person betrayed you because they needed to betray you. Spirit made sure that this relationship happened. This spirit made sure that this relationship occurred. Spirit made sure that this betrayal happened, because without it, you would have still continued to place people on pedestals. You would have continued to look for, and you would have... See, it's really saying there's nothing wrong in seeking advice. There's nothing wrong in seeking counsel. There's nothing wrong in seeking assistance. But the thing is, you were doing it in the wrong way. You were approaching the situations in the wrong way by thinking that those other persons will save you. So while this person was a mentor, you kind of like placed them in the savior role in your life, and thought like, okay, they will save you because they will guide you, they will help you, they support you. But in the end, you realize that you were the only one that could save yourself. That was the whole point of this relationship. That was the whole point of the betrayal. Spirit wanted you to realize that you are the one. that you are all in yourself, that you are complete in yourself. This was a moment of you breaking down to be created out. Now Spirit is saying, okay, so if you don't believe me, look back to when this relationship with your mentor ended and how much you've changed, how much you've grown, how much you've evolved, how much you've transformed, how much you are more confident, you're more sure of yourself, you're more self-assured, you're more confident, you're more outspoken, you're more decisive. You're confrontational if you need to be. The only thing is that you don't ask for help. The only thing now is that you find it difficult to even ask for help for the littlest things. Spirit is saying there are some things that you will not be able to do by yourself, because I don't want you to do it. There are people that are placed in your life who are supposed to do these things for you. So it's you need to let it become natural to be able to say, this is what I do, this is where I need your support, this is how you can support me in this. Not because you are making that person the one and only. Remember that. You have to remember that it's God working through that person. The problem that happened in the past was you forgot the God part and then you focused solely on that person, and that was why that person was made to betray you. That was why that mentor was made to betray you. That's why you had to go through all that pain and chaos to be able to remember the God that existed beyond the relationship. You guys, it's like when you were in this relationship, you place this person as your role model, as your savior, as your Lord, as your master. You basically worship them. You had no time for yourself. You had no time for your relationship with God. You just basically dedicated all your life to this person. So God needed to take you out of that situation. And no matter how painful it was a cathartic ending you needed to have to be able to come back into remembering what the heck you exactly are. You're the one. This happened for you. This is gnosis. This is creation. This is coming back. This is recalibration. This is re-equilibrium. So at this time, you're needing to forgive yourself. Some of you feel like you're not holding on to past times, but the truth is you're holding on. The person that you're most upset with at this time is yourself, because you feel like, oh, you shouldn't have allowed those things to happen to you. You should have known better. You should have decided. So a part of you who you're upset with is really yourself, but you're still upset with this mentor, but you're still upset with yourself because you were like, why did I let myself get played by like that? Why did I allow this person have much influence over me that it could hurt me like that? So you need to forgive yourself to be able to move forward. Forgiving you, you've done a lot of inner work, you've done a lot of inner transformation, you've done a lot of recalibration to be able to understand your own power, to be able to understand your charisma, your force of life, your confidence. You've come a long way. Now forgive that version of yourself, because you are no longer that version. And in forgiving that version of yourself, forgive that person because they didn't know better. God used them to bring you a lesson. So forgive them. Make your peace with God. Make your peace with the situation. Accept it for what it is and let it go. Because at this point in time, you are moving to a new level where Spirit is needing you to realize that you are going to need to ask people for help, but you are not going to be placing them on a pedestal. You're going to be needing to ask people for help because you know God is going to be working through those people for you. So you're going to be needing to ask people for help, not because you are going to place them on a pedestal, not because you are going to make them your mentors or your leaders, or you're going to be looking up to them. No, it's because you know Spirit is going to be using them to bring you everything you need. Spirit is going to be using them to bring you your miracles, to bring you your desires, to bring you your wishes. Not that these people are better than you, not that these persons are better than you, or they are wiser. No, they are not. Thank you. Alright, you've also got Apocalypse, the Sustainer, the Mother, Kairos, the Art, the Village, and the Comic. I was expecting this village, and subconsciously I was expecting this village to shock. So I'm going to start off with the village because that's the first one jumping out to me. Now what I'm picking up here is, you guys, as I was saying, you're going to be needing to ask for help because you're never meant to do this alone. You're someone who is going to step up to be a leader, and part of why you also need to go through that, part of why you also needed to go through that experience was for you to know how to be a leader, for you to know how to also be a mentor, because people are going to come to you wanting to be mentored. Know how to be a mentor without making yourself the lord and master of someone else's life. You'll also be able to recognize when people start putting you on pedestals that you should not be on. Don't allow anybody put you on pedestal. Don't allow them forget that you're a channel for God. Don't allow them forget that God is the one working through you. Don't allow them forget the God behind the scenes. Don't allow them forget God and make you their Lord and Master, and they'll start worshiping you. No. So you also needed to go through this relationship to learn this lesson. Now, this village, what I'm also picking up is you guys, your community is growing. The people you're going to be leading are growing. The people you're going to be interrelating with, interceding for, intervening for, people you are going to be dealing with, the people you are going to be judging, the people you are going to be dealing with, interacting with, it's increasing. Your village is increasing. So you need to be able to let them know, like, oh, okay, guys, this is what we need to do. Who is going to do what? Who is going to show for? Because right now you try to do everything by yourself, which doesn't make sense. And the reason why you're trying to do everything by yourself is just because you cannot trust that any other, you can't trust yourself basically to be able to receive support without wanting to give all your life back for it. But you've learned this lesson, so allow yourself to move forward. You've learned this lesson. You're never going to become that version of yourself that placed someone else above you, that made someone else feel too important in your life. No, you're never going to be that person who is so enthralled by someone else that you forget that God exists. No, you're never going to be that person again. So allow yourself to release the fear. Allow yourself to release the attachment to this past situation and betrayal, because you are needing to work with a village. You are going to have people around you who are clamoring to support you, who are clamoring to help you, who are clamoring to give to you, and you have to be open to receiving. Right now, you are closed off from receiving because your mind just keeps on playing the loop of, if I receive from this person, the person is going to ask me back in this way. They want to pay back. They won't pay back. They won't pay back. No. This person's spirit is bringing into your life. They are here to give to you. Now, the other thing I'm picking up for you to also identify yourself clearly, you guys growing up, you had issues with your mother. Maybe your mother was closed off, recalcitrant. This was someone who was not very open with expressing their emotions. Let's say, like, oh, baby, I love you. You've done with this, you didn't really have a very tender relationship with your mother. Okay, you didn't have a tender relationship with your mother. You guys might have also experienced some abandonment. You might have been left alone when you needed it the most, which is also the wound that is getting replayed in your which is also the wound that got replayed in your relationship with this mentor. You felt betrayed. You felt like they abandoned you when you needed them the most, which is also like your relationship with your mother. Every time you felt like you needed your mother the most, that's when the mother figure in your life was relatively absent. Every time you felt like you needed them, they never showed up, or they never took your side, or they never spoke up for you. You just felt like you had to do life alone. So it's like this experience and event you had with this person, with this mentor, was just a replaying of your mother wound, abandonment wound. Now, Spirit is saying you need to understand that God is your sustainer, God is your womb, God is your everything, God is your mother, God is your Father, God is your provider, God is everything for you. So every time you place someone else in the position of God, you are always going to have a replay of the abandonment wound, because you always need to be brought to the place of remembrance that nobody can take the position of God in your life, which is what you used to do previously. You used to abdicate the role of God for someone else. You used to give the role of God to someone else. You used to make someone else feel so important. You used to forget all about God because of someone else that you've placed in your front as this is person to get things done. No. Okay, so every time you make those decisions, those mistakes, the abandonment won't get replayed again, to help you to remember that God is your sustainer. God is your sole sustainer. Without God, you will not exist. Without God, you will not exist. Without God, you will not exist. Now, you are needing to open your heart, because there's a relationship on the way to you that's also going to help you. And you've been basically building up to this relationship. What I'm hearing is like you going through all these inner wounds, inner child wounds of remembering how you were abandoned. This has also played out in your relationship in several ways, but your mentor was like the biggest trigger in recent times. this past mentor you had was the biggest trigger in recent times. For some of you, might also have been in relationships with this mentor, which will kind of like deepen the pain a lot more. Now, Spirit is saying like your heart is needing to be open, because there's a new outbound journey you're going to be undertaking with someone new. There's a new outbound journey you're going to be undertaking that is going to require you to trust. Not trusting that the person is your God, but trusting that God is using this person to bring you everything you need, to bring you the support only they can bring you. God has dedicated different persons in your life to do different things. Allow them to do these things. Okay, now the last thing I'm picking up for you is fact that you guys, yeah, someone is quite funny, but you're funny in a weird way. You also like cards. You like comedy helps you release laughing. Your laughter is very beautiful. You have a very infectious laughter. Your smile is very beautiful. When you smile, people stop and stare, and they'll always comment about your smile. Now, the last thing you need to do to really let go of this situation, now that I've explained what and why the abandonment wound was triggered, you need to laugh it off. Laughter is the best medicine for you at this time. Understand the role you played in it, understand why it happened, then laugh it off. After this video, you are no more carrying this guilt forward. You are no more carrying this abandonment forward. You are no more carrying the pain of this loss forward. You are no more carrying the pain of not being supported, of not being helped, of not being able to ask for support. You are no more carrying it forward. Okay, so I need you to laugh it off. Laugh it off really, really, really loud. Laugh it off really, really, really loud. And lastly, you've got a letter. Again, this brings me back to the energy of Libra, of justice, of fairness. You need to laugh it off. I'm going to suggest that there's something about Spirit saying you need to watch like a funny legal thriller or a funny legal series that you're just going to, immediately you finish watching it, let that mark a moment in your life that makes that you mark like, okay, from this point forward, I'm no more remembering the pain of being abandoned. I understand why it's happened, and I trust that it happened for me, and I know why it happened for me, and I place God as my soul enforcer, my soul protector, my soul provider, and every other person is just going to be an instrument used by God to bring you your desires. Okay, so you need to switch your perspective. I've explained to you why this happened. Now don't move forward from it, because your heart needs to be open to this. Your heart cannot receive this relationship, this romance, a mere romantic conquest, this romantic quest, if you are still locked up in this past relationship, this past way you were abandoned. Every time you open up your heart, you are not going to be able to move into this romantic interest, this romantic quest. Okay, and lastly, I'm picking up, you guys may be some sort of warrior or fighter. There's something about you also fighting for justice. You're someone who speaks up for justice. You're someone who speaks up for the earth. You're someone who is very passionate about their beliefs. You stand firm in what you believe, and that's also been a bit why you've had some trouble in letting go of this past situation, because you just keep on playing. You might have cardinal energy very strong in your chart. Cardinal energy, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra. Okay, Spirit is saying you now need to flip the perspective. Remember that there's still light in darkness, and there's darkness and light, the yin and the yang. Balance it out, understand and see through the perspective. I've given you the clarity. Now you know what and why has happened. Allow yourself to move past. Okay, and on that note, I'm going to cap this reading. Okay, this was beautiful, delicious, straight to the point. Spirit was like, okay, I need you to sit down, get yourself together and get this, because you need to move forward. You need to move forward. No more holding on to this. See, when you move forward, this romantic interest, immediately after this romantic interest, that village, that community is coming your way. But it's like Spirit is saying, first of all, you need to open your heart, trusting that this person is going to support you, trusting that this person is going to have your back, trusting that this person is not going to let you down, trusting that this person is not going to betray you. Once you open your heart fully to this person, you can open your heart to receive this village that Spirit has sent to you, the community, the people who are meant to see you, your clients, your customers, your people, your tribe. But you first of all have to, it's baby step. This is the baby step. This is the adult step. First of all, you take the baby step, because now you know different. You take the baby step, you become this. There's stardom here, there's fame, there's success waiting for you guys. It's like, let me tell you the steps. Make up with your lover. Open your heart to the person spirit has sent to occupy your heart. Open your heart to them, trust them, believe them, receive from them, ask them for what you want. Be open to being supported by them. That will give you the courage for you to open up your heart to receiving your community, to receiving your tribe, to receiving your people, to receiving your clients, paying clients, to receive your customers, to receive your village. Once you do that, you are going to be launched so fast into the limelight, into fame, into success, into stardom. All of this is waiting for you, and you are going to have a very easy time flowing with it because you've learned your lesson. So allow yourself to move through the steps. Allow yourself to take the baby step so that you can take the adult step, so that you can step up and shine as the effing star that you are. Baby, no more time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Okay, flip the switch, my love. All right, baby, I love you. You chose this deck for reading for a specific reason, okay? And that was a message in there to you this time. If you'd like to book a reading with me, the link is on my bio, okay? The link is down below. You can book readings with me at this time. My calendar is also open for year-end reading. So if you're feeling pulled to having a reading done to help you prepare for the new year that is coming in, go to my website and also book that, and I'll be seeing you there. I love you. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comment, okay? If this reading resonates, drop a rose. Is there a white rose? But just drop a rose. I would love to see it. If you chose deck 2 for this picky card reading, what can we need to forgive at this time? The first thing that is coming through is the fact that you guys, you kind of like, you've not even allowed yourself to express how hot you are to this person's, okay? To this person, to this person. There's something about you wearing mask. You put on a lot of mask, physical mask, to kind of like, okay, so two things. Physical mask, yeah, someone will also kind of like, you try to do a lot of breath work, a lot of meditative practices, calming yourself, you know, doing the self-care, doing the skincare, putting on facial mask, just trying to, it's like you're like, oh, calm, which is good. But the other part of it is you don't allow yourself to feel the emotion so that it can come out. You don't allow yourself to be passionate. You don't allow yourself to release the anger. You kind of like just let it stew in you because you're like, okay, calm, which is good but not so good, because what's happening is you're harboring those dense pockets of energy, those dense pockets of emotion receiving you, and you're not allowing yourself to transmute it. Because you're not allowing yourself to transmute it, you're not allowing yourself to move past the moments in which these incidences keep on occurring. The moments in which these incidents keep on occurring, the moments in which your anger is being triggered, your fears, but mostly around your anger, in the moments in which you are being betrayed, you are not allowing yourself to lay claim to your self ownership. There's no indignation. It's like you just try to tell yourself, okay, let's be calm. No, but that let's be calm is false, because it's an illusion. It's a mask you're putting on because you've been told when you're younger that you could not display your emotions, or in times past you displayed your emotions and it has led to the grave, I'm hearing like grave consequences and wrong consequences. So you've learned how to not display your emotions, which is wrong. Because what you're doing is you're batting down, and it's like a storm is brewing, but you're trying to cover like nothing is happening. And underneath the surface, a whole lot is happening, a lot of turmoil, a lot of stress. That's why you're also doing a lot of skincare. I'm saying like pock marks. You guys might have like irritations on your skin, like your skin just seems constantly inflamed. You put in as much as you do a lot of skincare, a lot of facials, because you're not allowing yourself to release emotions. All right, so you chose that too. So now I'm going to go into the cards. Those were the first message Spirit dropped before I even started pulling any cards. All right, so let's see what and why. So first card I'll put today: collaboration and death. Okay, so what I'm picking up for this from this is most of these grievances, the person, the wolves you need to forgive are the people you work with, are the people you're on a team with, are the people you're partnered with, are basically people that you're supposed to collaborate with. What I'm saying here is you are someone who in the past people have not showed up for you the way you expect them to show up. So you just be like, okay, I'm going to do it all alone. I'm going to do it all alone. You cannot even show up for me anyways. And this is deep. This is from when you were a lot younger. For some of you, this was you in study group, in project groups, and then you, the people on your team that are supposed to work with you, not showing up to do their work, and you carrying the grunt and saying, okay, I'm going to do it anyways. And this kind of went round so that in the end we are basically not able to find support with the people you learned with, the people you worked with. I'm hearing for some of the people you lived with, because you've seen over time you'll be like, okay, I'll do it by myself anyways, which is wrong, which is us saying you because you can't do anything by yourself anyways. In fact, it's killing you because the stress is too much. That's why you're feeling like, oh, you need to do breath work, you need to do meditation, but all of those things are not working because you are not addressing the issue underneath. The real issue is your inability to let people show up. Let people play their part. Let people play their role. Let people carry their shit. Let people carry their baggage. Let people carry their burdens. Let people just do what they need to do, instead of you trying to say, oh, okay, they won't get it done anyways. It's going to be my fault anyways. It's going to be your problem in the end anyways. It's going to... Let people do what they are paid to do. Let people do what they've signed up to do. Let people show up. But if you keep on giving excuses and expectations that people are not going to be able to do what they're supposed to do, they're not going to be able to show up, they're not going to be able to fulfill an expectation, complete a task, carry out an assignment, complete a project without you doing most of the work, heavy lifting for them, you just keep on replaying the loop. And this loop, I'm hearing like it started from when you were in school, maybe junior school, high school, college. It started from when you were younger. And this thing is going to kill you. That's ash. Sorry, it's coming off a bit ash, but it's because it's causing you so much stress. It's causing you so much stress, so much because you're just repeating this cycle and on country. You're just repeating this cycle. You're just carrying everybody's load. You're carrying everybody's loads for them, and it's causing you a lot of stress. It's why you're having sleepless nights. It's why your skin is breaking out. It's why you're stressed. It's why you feel like you can't catch a breath. It's why you're always having tension headaches. It's why your ears are always ringing. It's why you're constantly stressed and in anxiety, having burnout, not eating enough, having caffeine addiction, caffeine withdrawal, because you are not allowing people to do what they need to do for themselves. You are trying to do everything, and that is what is killing you and stressing you out. So you need to forgive yourself. Forgive the people in your past. Forgive the people, the very first colleagues. You wait till light has been blinking, so they're like, girl, get it. Give them this message. The people you need to forgive, they are the people in your childhood, the first group of playmates, the first group of schoolmates, of colleagues, of classmates that let you down on a group project, that let you down, so that you have to be the one to save face, because maybe you were very good, you're an excellent student, and you were maybe the teacher's favorite, you were the top person in your school, in your class, in your graduating class, and you didn't want this to reflect badly on your scores, on your results, so you ended up doing the project all by yourself. And that's such a very, very harmful way of getting things done. So first of all, you need to forgive those children because they didn't know any better. And then you need to forgive yourself in that time because you didn't know any better. What you should have done is not have done their parts. Not to have done their part. You could have told the teacher, yes, they will say you told on them, but will it matter now? So is it no better to have told on them than you to have been, for you to now be in this loop of always doing and always carrying everybody's burdens? You have to learn to put yourself first instead of sacrificing yourself for other people's expectations. Right now, your manager or your boss is like, I know your team is going to do it, even though when they know, like, the people, you don't have the correct support in your team. It's time for you to fire some people if you need to. It's time for you to let some people go if you need to. Ask for the support you need. You can't grow without having a stable, steady support. stable, steady role players, people on your team, people who can do the things. You can't do everything. You need to have people you can give work to, you can assign responsibilities to, and trust that they'll be able to get it done. If not, you're not going to grow. Your company is not going to grow. Your department is not going to grow, because it's just going to be you doing everybody's job. And people are going to be there faffing, laughing, because they know you still do it anyways. Because when the company, when the departments are being evaluated, you don't, when they are doing appraisal, you don't want to fall short. So you still do it anyways. Why? Why? You guys might also love burning candles. Next, you've got disturbance. You might have recently watched ghost movies or horror movies that came out like very fast. Okay. As I said, can you see all the spots on her body? All the spots, all the red inflamed spots. You guys, you keep on having breakouts, because the breakouts you're having is simply because you're not allowing yourself to release all the emotional angst within you, all the stress, all the annoyance, all the disturbance, all the aggravation. You're not allowing yourself to release it. Instead, you just keep quiet. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll calm down. Okay. No, it's not working. It's not working. That's why you keep having breakouts, because it's not working. And because you've battered this down for so long, you don't even understand that that's the disturbance behind the scenes. You know you are irritated, but you can't even put your finger on why you are irritated. Because you've done this for so long, because it's become part and parcel of you. You can't even pick it out like, okay, this is wrong, this is not helpful, this is not supportive, this is not supporting me. And that's the first thing you need to say to yourself to free yourself. This is not supporting me. You are not supporting me. Call people. You are not supporting me. You are not playing your part. You are not carrying your responsibilities. You are not carrying your burdens. You are not shouldering your baggages. Instead, you've left it all for me. Why? At this point, pick only what is for you to do, and let people handle their shit and their responsibilities. You can't keep on carrying people. For how long? For some of you, these are also family members, caregivers. Yes, you show up because you love, but you need to have a boundary. You need to see, that's the word. You need to have a boundary for yourself. You need to have a boundary that is supportive for yourself. At this time, you're needing to forgive those children in your childhood, in your early school play, and yourself, that younger version of yourself that didn't know better. But right now, the people in your life, you need to call them on their shit. You can't keep on carrying people. You can't keep on carrying their baggages. You can't keep on shouldering their burdens. You can't keep on carrying their responsibilities. You are not their mama. You are not their papa. You are not. So stop allowing yourself to be weighed down by other people's bull crap. This looks like it's very straight ahead. I'm not even sure there's still much. This is very straight. This is very straight to the point. So no more excuses. No more making excuses for others, how they are showing up, what they can do. Or if they are not capable of doing what they need to do in their role, then either let them to train up to get the skills required to execute in the role, or you find the people who have done it before. We are not going to baby, you're not going to breastfeed, you're not going to take care of as your babies. They are there to work. Like this energy feels very strong, like it's still happening in your current place of employment. So if you feel like the people who are reporting to you cannot do their work, then either get them to learn the skills using a dedicated assigned time, where you're going to test them with actual projects that contribute to your end goals. Or you find people, as they are getting upskilled, start looking for the people who have done this before. Start looking for the people who can actually support you. Start looking for the people who are going to come in and do their work, instead of leaving it up to you. You guys are also going to be seeing 77s as well as 999s at this time. 7979, 777, 999, 977 as well. All right, Spirit, is there any final message for this collective? Because this was just very straight to the point. All those breakouts you're having, you're nothing superficial is going to treat it. What is going to stop it is you facing and building up some strong boundaries. Building up on some strong boundaries for yourself. Facing it, talking about it, protesting against the way you're being treated, protesting against your colleagues that are not doing their work, they're not carrying their share of the work, they're not carrying their share of the responsibilities, they're not showing up. Speak up about it, be loud about it, be confrontational with it. This is time for you to be confrontational, be passionate, raise your voice if you need to. Be stern, but build your freaking ass boundaries. Stop letting people walk all over you because of the sake of they know you do it. Change it, switch it up. Yes, I would have done it for you yesterday, but today I'm a new person. I'm no more doing things that are not assigned to me. I'm no more doing things that don't contribute to my well-being and my wellness. And you've made excuses for so long. You've excused other people's inabilities, their weaknesses, their just incapacity. Their incapacity to show up. You've made excuses for it for so long. Now stop making excuses for it and do the damn thing. You've made excuses for them, but you've not allowed yourself. You've not allowed yourself to have an easy day. Even in those moments when you're resting, when you're getting a massage, when you're meditating, your mind is running like, oh, I know this person won't do it, so I still need to do it. I need to get to the office early. I need to check my meals earlier. I need to prepare. I need to review what they've done before the meeting because I know they... Why are you stressing yourself? There are so many other things for you to be doing instead of you doing other people's work. So many other things you should be doing for yourself instead of you doing other people's work and carrying other people's responsibilities. Call attention to all the inadequate ways the people on your team. If you need to let them go, let them go. You are doing them a huge disservice by keeping them in roles they are not able to fulfill because it's not helping their growth. It's not helping their soul to develop. It's not building their confidence. It's not building their trust. It's not building their skills. You are not just, you feel like, oh, you don't want to fire them, but you are doing them a lot more harm than letting them go do what they would love to do, where they'll be able to do things. There's also something about you felt like maybe people are just, because of these incidents you had in childhood, in school, with your schoolmates, with your colleagues, it just made you feel like people cannot just do things. People are not skilled enough, they are not wise enough, they are just able to do things, right? And the last card you've got curse. It's catastrophe, misfortune. You guys are also going to be saying 4 5 4 5s 4. You'll be seeing a lot of 4s, a lot of 5s, a lot of 7s, and a lot of 9s, basically. So this what I just keep on, Spirit is like, I don't need to spend too long on this video because the message is very straightforward, and I'm all up here for straightforward messages. I love when the channels come in clear and I give it to you clear so that we can both get where we need to go and be on our way, so that you can watch this and be on it. So tell me, what are you going to be doing differently? Because you are the one who keeps on bringing the stress upon yourself. You are very close to being burnt out. You are filled with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of tension, and it's everywhere you look, there's problems. People keep bringing you problems without them being ready to lift a finger, because they know when they bring it to you, you do everything for them. Why? You can advise people, you can guide them, you can tell them what to do, but let them do their shit by themselves. By themselves. Let them do what they need to do for themselves. Even if these persons are part of your family members who you feel like you have to provide for how long? If you keep on providing for someone without letting them fend for themselves, then in the end they are going to blame you for it, because you never give them the chance to. Because every time they run into a problem, they will run to you and you'll solve it. You never give them time for them to develop their brain, develop their own resources, learn more about themselves, grow. Because you keep on trying to be everybody's savior, because you feel like you can't get support. You feel like you can't get support because you are not asking for support. If you need the support, you ask for it. Okay? Alright, my love. So you chose this deck because you are needing to learn to forgive your younger self for thinking that you needed to show up for other people, for thinking that you needed to carry all the weight, for thinking that you needed to do it alone, for thinking that you could not receive support, for thinking that the people around you were just not capable of supporting you. Forgive your younger self and forgive those younger versions of those people because they didn't know better. Now allow yourself to move forward instead of being stuck in this loop of replaying these incidents over and over and over and over and over again. If you want to go deeper, book a personal reading with me to figure out your next steps if you want. But this reading was very, very clear. I always give very, very clear, specific messages in my collective readings. But if you are looking to book a personal reading with me, the link is in the caption. Okay, let me know how this reading resonated with you. If you chose the 2 and this reading resonated with you, you can drop me like an emoji of someone meditating so that I'll know it's you, so that no other persons will know what's up. Okay, all right, love, I love you. Take care of yourself. And please stop carrying other people's responsibilities. Stop shouldering other people's burdens and baggages. Let it go. Enough is enough. This is leading you to an early grave. Stop it. I love you too much. I want to still see you around. I want to still see you watching my videos. I still want you to stay. You know, all those facial spas and all those things are fun. I want you to do it with peace now. Instead of having breakouts, I want your skin to be clear, your complexion to be clear, like a baby's butt. I love you. I love. So if you chose deck 3 for this pick a card reading, what and what you need to forgive at this time, the first thing that came up was, so I was first of all directed to use this deck. I've not used this deck in a long while for any reading. I think I've kept it away. I've studied up for like the past 3 to 4 months. Okay, now the first thing that's coming up is, what I'm getting from you is like, you have to be the one to choose the story you want for yourself. Stop letting other people dictate your experiences. Stop letting other people tell you what you need to do. Stop letting other people tell you what you need to do, who you can be, how you can show up for yourself. That's the first energy I'm picking up. There's also something about this being kind of like, there's a journey, there's an undertaking that you need to go on. There's a journey you need to go on. There's a decision you need to make for yourself. There's a way, but there's especially like, there's just this journey you need to go through. It's both psychological and it's physical, but you going on this journey with the realization that you can do bad all by yourself, you can do good all by yourself, that you're more than capable, you're more than enough, you're more than worthy. You can basically show for yourself that you're as skilled as this. At this time, you're needing to forgive people who have looked down on you, people who have told you that you're not skillful, people who have told you can't do it, people who have told you that, that they've laughed at you in scorn, that they've said, oh, people like you cannot do it, people like you cannot achieve it, that dream you're trying to do, you're trying to achieve is too big for you to attain. You need to forgive those people because they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. They didn't know what they were talking about. They had no clue, because you're the one who was destined to do it. If you were not the one to do it, you would never have gotten the idea to do it. So all this while you've talked yourself out, because every time you shared your idea with other people, they'd be like, oh no, but you can't. People like, you can't, you don't have the skills, you didn't go to school, you don't have the education, you don't have the experiences. And you've allowed that to permeate into your consciousness, and you constantly thought, oh, every time the idea rises up, you be like, oh, but I can't do it. It's not you, it's those people's projections of you that you keep on repeating to yourself. That's what you need to forgive. You need to forgive those people because they didn't know shit, and you need to forgive the version of you that believed them when they told you could not do it. The version of you that believed them when they told you could not do it. At bottom of the deck, you've got princess. You can be your own knight, number one. You can be the number one. You can stand up for yourself. You can shine for yourself. You can speak up for yourself. You can go after what you want. Okay? I love when the cards just fall out, and every time the cards just fly out, like, baby, pull us too. Don't just channel, pull us too. Swim away from this situation. As I was saying, there's a psychological and a physical trip you need to make. For some of you, you've been in a relationship where A relationship where the person, your partner, keeps on kind of like demeaning you. They kind of like they keep on demeaning you, they keep on looking down on you, they keep on kind of like, they mess up with your confidence, they mess up with your trust in yourself, they speak down to you, they look down on you, they belittle your results, they belittle your success, they talk you out of your ideas, they laugh about it, they sneer. These persons are not good for your confidence, and you are going to be walking away from them. You are going to be walking away from them, not because you're like, oh, I'm going to show you. No, it's because you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to show myself that this person was just talking nonsense and they didn't know jack shit. Because this person is disguised as a fish, but they are a shark. They are here to harm you. This is someone who is very close to you. This could be a lover, a partner, a father, someone, just someone you look up to, someone who you kind of like feel responsible to, like you feel like you need to listen to them. This is like an authority figure in your life, someone you feel like you need to listen to, that you feel like has the answers, that you feel like should be able to guide you, should be able to give you the best advice. So you take whatever they take, you take it up hook, line and sinker. Let it sink in, but it's nonsense. You need to start filtering your words. In fact, you need to distance yourself. Distance yourself from this person. Distance yourself from this person, because they don't know jack shit about you. They're just spilling nonsense. They're spewing rubbish. They don't know you. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know the gift you have. They don't know the light that's shining bright within you. They don't know the skill set God has given you. They don't know anything about you. They don't know the destiny you're here to fulfill. They don't know anything about the mission your soul is here to carry out. So don't let this person talk you out of, because then you're just going to come back. You will die. And you come back to this life to repeat this story loop, and the same persons will swim into what I'm hearing is like, this is not even new. This is a karmic relationship actually. That's why spirit had to pull me, because I've not used this deck in a long while. That's why the first thing that I was picking up was there was this energy of old ancient energy. You are dealing with a karmic partner. This person is a karmic partner in your previous lifetime. In your previous lifetime, they talked you out of following your soul mission, of following your soul truth, on doing what you need to do for yourself. They talked you out of it. And you listen to them, but now in this lifetime, you're receiving this message so that you can break free, so that you can allow yourself to set off on this journey. You're never going to know how good it will go. You're never going to know how good you would feel. You're never going to know all the pleasure that is ahead of you, all the success, all the blessings, all the miracles, all the growth, all the development, if you never allow yourself to live home, if you never allow yourself to live the comfort of this experience. What I'm also feeling, but you guys also look at your south node. Your south node in your birth chart is going to give you some more clarity about why you keep on repeating these karmic loops. This is a karmic loop. This is a karmic encounter. This is karma you've carried out from past lifetime into this lifetime. Now in this lifetime, you're going to break this loop, because you're going to swim the fuck away from you're going to be swimming away from the situation. I'm laughing at myself because the words are just pouring out and I'm not even supposed to catch a breath. That's how passionate I feel like. I feel like stoking your fires to get you moving. You're moving away from this person. Be the lover, be the father, be the partner, be the husband. They are not good for you. They are not. This is someone who is of the opposite sex. This is someone you look up to. This is someone you kind of like depend on. This is someone you're dependent on. But your dependencies need to be cut short, because you can thrive by yourself. You can stand up for yourself. You can survive. This person keeps on telling you, like, if you go into the world, you think the world is fun. They are going to mess you up. They are going to do this. This person keeps on filling your head with different kind of stories. It's a lie. This is just this person trying to control you. They're only trying to control you. They're only trying to keep you independent. They're trying to keep you dependent on them. They don't want you independent. They're trying to keep you dependent on them because it gives them joy, because it boosts their ego, because they know they can use you any way they choose, because you're not using yourself for yourself. This is time for you to be independent. This is time for you to flex your wings. This is time for you to leave home. This is time for you to walk away from this relationship, walk away from this partnership, walk away from this bond, because this is bondage. This time for you to free yourself and to move out, to leave this relationship. Enough is enough. Enough is enough with this codependency. enough is enough with this karma bond. Enough is enough. We're repeating this karmic loop. In this lifetime, you have the opportunity. In this lifetime, you have the skills, you have the gifts, you have everything you need to stop and break out of this karmic loop. In this lifetime, you have everything you need to choose a new experience for yourself. You have everything you need to choose a new experience for yourself. This is a lifetime in which you plant your own ideas. These seeds you're trying to do, these things you're trying to do, these ideas you're trying to grow, this way you want to experience yourself. Something lovely will grow from this. These new creative ideas you have, these new ways of making money, these new ways of fending for yourself, of providing for yourself is going to be fruitful. But first of all, you need to trust yourself to walk away. If you guys are going to be saying 555 at this time, because there's a lot of energy of change around you. First of all, walk away from this person. Then trust yourself. No matter how small it is, you're better off alone by yourself rather than being with this person. No matter how small the money in your account is, no matter how small your ideas are, no matter how small the outlook looks, no matter how small it looks, you're better off starting off being by yourself, starting something new, growing your trust in yourself, growing your faith in yourself, flexing your creative muscles, exercising your independence, being independent, being a creator, trusting your sacral energy, trusting your intuition, allowing yourself to create, allowing yourself to use your skills, allowing yourself to use your God-given skills, abilities and talents to be able to provide for yourself. You're going to grow so much, you're going to do a lot, you're going to, that single seed is going to create multiple streams of income for you, multiple streams of revenue. But you cannot stay any longer in this situation that you keep on depending on this person. It's not helping you. You guys are going to be saying 555 at this time. So forgive yourself for every time you felt the desire, every time you felt the inclination to step out, to do things your way, to break up with this person, but then you make up an excuse or they kind of convince you to stay. Every time you've had an idea but they beat it down and just stay quiet. Every time you shared an idea with them and they ridiculed it and they laughed it down, they tore it to pieces and you just stay quiet and you just accepted it. Forgive yourself. It's not easy to break a loop of energies, activities, intermissions, a way of doing things that have been ingrained in you for so many lifetimes. It's not going to be easy. So forgive yourself for every time you kept quiet. Forgive yourself for every time you accepted the ridicule, you accepted the harassment, you accepted their talking down, their berating, the insults. Forgive yourself. But now you know better. Now you don't have any excuses. You have to move forward. You have to do what pleases you. Start doing the things that please you. Start doing the things that bring you joy. Start doing the things you want. Even if this person tells you, oh no, you're not going to successful, you don't have the experience, you don't have everything they say, just discard it like noise, like rubbish, like you cannot even pick out a word from anything they are saying to you. They are speaking a totally different foreign alien language which you cannot understand. Block your ears. A totally foreign different language which you cannot understand. Treat your body like the palace it is. Villain, you can always rewrite the story. You can always rewrite the story. I knew this card was going to come out. I saw it in my mind's eye and then it fell out. You can always rewrite the story. Treat your body like the palace it is. First of all, what I'm saying is you laying claim to your body. That's also why Spirit is telling you at this time you need to leave this relationship. Because being in this relationship, sharing space with this person, sharing your body with this person is still an act of submission. And now you're supposed to be breaking out. You're supposed to be revolting. You are not supposed to stay submissive to this person who doesn't encourage your happiness. This person just wants you dependent and submitted to them, without them bringing you happiness or joy, looking down on you, controlling you, doing like being them being your Lord and Master, and you just being an obliging docile sheep. No, enough with that. Enough with that. Your spirit is no longer having it. That's why I was brought here to channel this message. That's why you saw this video. That's why you chose this deck, because your spirit is no more playing that way. Your spirit is tired of being docile, of being accepting all the insults and excuses and bad behavior. It's time for you to fend for yourself. It's time for you to treat your body like parasites. Stop letting yourself be exposed to people who bring you harm. Stop spending space. Stop sharing space. Stop eating. Stop kissing. Stop kissing up to. Stop touching. Stop letting them touch you, because they are contaminating your energetic vibe and aura. They are reducing your energetic vibration. They are contaminating your energetic body. Every time you're trying to build up, this person comes in and then they tear your plans to pieces. Treat your body like the palace that it is. Allow yourself to do the things that please you. Allow yourself to dance when you want. Allow yourself to sing when you want. Allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to just be. Allow yourself to experience life. There's a lot of travel that you guys have not gone on, because every time the person will be like, oh, but you don't have the money. Do you think I'm going to pay for that? Do you think I'm going to let you go? Do you think... But those are the places you want to go to. Those are the experiences you want to have. Those are the things you want to see. Those are the things you want to eat. Those foods, you want to eat those foods. For some of you, this person is also very critical of you. You might be chubby, you might be more fleshy, you might have more fat, you might be more sexy, round, having a lot of curves, the vibe. I'm really picking up the energy that you're feminine if you're watching this. This person might be someone who talks down on you about your weight, about the way you look, about their size, about their appearance, and they are not even anywhere better. Yeah, they may be fine, they may be fit, but inside they are just very, very grotesque. So stop allowing this person, who is simply a karmic partner from your past, stop allowing them to hold you back. Stop allowing them to make you keep on replaying past loops. You're in a new lifetime. You're in a new chapter. You're in a new life. Allow yourself to have new experiences. You guys, birds are significant for you. After you're seeing this video, you're going to be seeing a lot of birds cawing, singing. You're just going to be wobbling. You're just going to be hearing a lot of bird sounds. There's freedom here, there's lightness here, but you need to let yourself walk away. You can always rewrite the story. You need to let yourself walk away. You need to let yourself make peace with this situation and accept that it's never going to get better. Yeah, you guys are going to be saying 555. I told you already, it's never going to get better. With this person, they are never going to change. They are never going to change their ways. They are never going to allow you to do what you want to do. They are never going to support your goals. They are never going to buy into your vision. They are never going to be happy with how you look. They are never going to be that person, because they were not meant to be that person. They were supposed to show you how you've kept on giving your power away. So now it's time for you to take all your power back. By standing up for yourself, by being independent, by being fearsome, by being fierce about your desires, by saying, okay, no, enough with your bullshit, enough with your bull crap. I'm no more listening. I can't listen to anything you're saying, because now you're speaking gibberish, because I can't hear you. You're speaking a foreign language. You're speaking an alien language which I can't understand, because your soul wants a different experience. Are you going to allow yourself to have this different experience? Are you going to forgive yourself for staying quiet all the time so that you can move forward? Also, you need to forgive this person so you don't move forward with resentment. Forgive them, because if they knew better, they would have done better. They don't know better. They are simply operating at the level of the understanding, and that is fine. But you can no longer accept and stay with that level of understanding. You can no longer accept and stay in that situation. You can no longer stay in their small-minded ways, in their small-minded caves, in their small-minded apartments, in their small-minded houses, in their small-minded life. You cannot stay in that small-minded life anymore. You cannot stay in that small-minded life anymore. Your soul is desiring to have you desire to be out in the open, to travel, to see, to explore, to journey, to experience. Your soul has all these big dreams, but up till now, you've just been timid with your desires. You've been timid with your dreams. You've been timid with the things you want for yourself. Now, enough is enough. It's time for you to go after your big goals. It's time for you to let yourself explore, to let yourself be bold, to be fearless, to let yourself just go. Let God lead you. This man in your life is not your God. It's not the one God sent to you. It was simply just someone you're supposed to overcome, a past lifetime partner that you're supposed to overcome. Now it's time for you to overcome it and to move forward. Alright, my love, so if you chose deck 3, that was your message. You guys are also going to be seeing yellow flowers at this time. If you chose this deck, this was what you needed to know at this time. So allow yourself to write the story. Be the villain for once. Say, okay, you know, I'm going to be the villain. Make me out to be the villain. I'm fine. Just smile and walk away. Walk away from everything. Cut the ties and walk away. Rewrite the story, change the loop. There are a lot of people in the world who are ready to give you your flowers, who are ready to support you, who are ready to provide a listening ear, who are ready to help you. And because it's not those people, it's God. God is ready to use so many other people to be blessings in your life. But if you keep on staying with this person who is only going to keep on discouraging you, distracting you, belittling you, looking down on you, insulting you, talking down on you, tearing apart your confidence, tearing apart your trust in yourself, tearing apart your self-will, then you're not going to grow. Okay? If you like to book a personal reading with me, the link is in bio. If you want to take this further, the link is in the caption below. If this reading resonated with you, let me know. Drop a yellow flower in the comments. Leave a comment. Let me know. If you need some encouragement, I'm here waiting for you. If you need an accountability partner, let me know. Share in the comments, okay? Alright, my love. I love you. You've got this. This is your time for change. The energy around you is right for change. That's why you're seeing this video at this time. That's why you chose this deck. Nothing is coincidental. There are no mistakes. Everything was in divine alignment. Me being brought here to channel this message, spirit leading me to bring out this deck that I've not used in over 3-4 months. I packed it away with this other deck. They're like my 2 favorite decks, and I realized I was using them for so long. So I packed them away so I could use all the other decks. I have like almost 50 decks now. And I realized I was just using this two because this was actually my first ever oracle deck that I ever got. This was the first card I pulled. The second deck is my own personal deck, which I never use for collective readings or anybody's readings, but I use this for public readings. I was like, use this, bring it out. I'm like, okay. And there's the bottom of the deck, beach fire, stand up for yourself. This is time for you to stand up for yourself. Okay? This is because of you, spirit made me bring out this deck. It is time for you to stand up for yourself. Enough is enough. It's time for you to raise the battle cry and let things fall wherever they want to fall. The person will be alright. But you need to swim away, walk away, run away, get as far away as possible, get as far as possible away from this person. They are very dangerous to you. Okay? You can always rewrite the story. Now it's time for you to be the villain. No more playing the victim. It's time for you to be the villain in your own story. I love you, baby. You've got this.